changing the world of work for women everywhere. We are Watermark. We're the only nonprofit women's leadership organization that spans all industries. We connect, develop, and advocate for the advancement of women in the workplace. The Watermark community includes senior executives, entrepreneurs, and emerging executives that support you not only at the top of your field, but also on your way up.
When the New York Times, the London Financial Times, Forbes, and People magazine write about leadership, who do they call? Our next speaker, Charmaine McClarie. Charmaine is an expert in leadership, communications, executive presence. She is an advisor to the C-suite. She's a very popular keynote speaker and a very busy executive coach. Among her many clients are top executives from Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, Humana, Starbucks, lots and lots of great companies. And 98% of her clients land plum promotions within 18 months of working with Charmaine. She is on the faculty of the University of Missouri, Kansas City as a leadership and communications expert, and she is a frequent lecturer at Smith College. On a personal note, Charmaine has played a key role in helping me shape my career, and for that I will always be very grateful. This is a great, great ending to a wonderful day. Please help me welcome Charmaine McClarie.
Today, we're going to have a conversation and a dialogue about what it means to speak up, stand out, and be heard so that people recognize your value. And those are people of influence because that is important. That is essential for your success. What does it mean to speak out, stand out, be heard? It means that someone is truly listening to what you have to say. They're listening to your brilliance, your insight, because it's moving the organization forward, and it's moving you forward and up. It means that you're stepping into your spotlight so that people can see you and what you have to offer. It also means that you're bringing all of you to the table, not just part of you, because all of you is that power that resonates and that makes a difference. We're all speaking about the same thing, which is ensuring that you have greater joy, power, and control in your life. It's about saying what I call saying yes on your terms. So I have a couple of questions for you. And the first question is, I want you to identify 3 adjectives that best describe you in terms of your narrative. And there's one word that you are not allowed to use, and that is professional. Because everybody in the room is professional, I call that the cheater word. But when you really think about how you see yourself, I want you to be brutally honest. Because it may not, the third question I'm going to ask you may contradict that, but how do you see yourself? Second question, how do you want other people to see you? And the third is, how do people see you, which is different. The second was, how do you want them to see you? And the third is, how do they see you? And the truth may be is that they don't see you, which you know can be very real. I want you to think about, again, when you say how you see yourself, how others see you, and how you want to be seen, if there's a gap, why is there a gap? So you can begin to bridge that gap. And if we're all telling the truth, there's going to be a gap. So think about what do I need to do to bridge it? But what's really important as that is really deciding, again, if you say, I want to show up as someone who is powerful, that is empathetic, that is results driven, what are you doing every day to exhibit that kind of behavior? What are you doing every day to let people know. So if someone says, I see you as X, Y, and Z, and they're really locked on that picture, you can turn to them and say, you know, this is what my intent is, and this is how I want to show up. And I know this is based on an instance or a story from 2 years ago, but I want to know, are you willing to see me differently? Not only are you willing to see me differently, what one thing would I need to do to help shift your perception of me? It provides greater clarity. That way you now have an understanding of what the landmines might be. And it means being really direct, which many times we don't want to do. So again, all this is about choice. Leaders communicate the vision. They communicate the big picture. They let you know where Kansas is. They do not communicate the task. Ever been to a meeting and what you find out is that everybody is coming with a PowerPoint and they send it out in advance, and I say, wait a minute, if you are going to just read what's on the page, hell, I have a college degree, I can read. But what is the value of that information? How is that information going to move the story forward? The second is that leaders speak in headlines. Leaders speak to compel your eye and your ear. They want to seduce the eye and the ear, and that's how leaders speak. They're speaking in pictures. And the third is the three must make points. I said there are three questions that every audience has. Why should I listen? What's in it for me? And what do you want me to do about it? In fact, one of the questions I've been asking, I did it in advance of this program and even today, is what do you want as an outcome? I've asked several of you, what do you want to take home? So the three must make points. Because many times what we do is we tell people everything that we know, as opposed to telling them what it is that they want to know. The fourth, create witnesses. I say hard work without a witness, and who the heck needs that? If you are working hard, I want to know, was it done with brilliance? Was it done with insight? Was it done with clarity? And it's really about creating the witnesses. That's really about having someone, what are people saying about you when you're not in the room? That's part of the creating witnesses. Fifth, don't audition for the part. Sort of like the Nike slogan says, don't audition for a role that you already have. You have been hired to come to the table because of what you know and what you see. And that is part of what you bring to that room. If you come in just to tell people what they already know, that limits your value. How are we going to move this forward? When I hire folks to work with me, I want them all smarter than me. I want them like little Pomeranians nipping at my ankles. And I don't like Pomeranians. But I want people that are smarter than me, that are pushing me and pushing everything forward. And so that is part of your role when you come to the table. What is it that you see? And I say that you don't need to attend every meeting, but you need to attend the meeting that cannot take place without your brilliance and your insight. If it can take place without it, you don't need to be there. And the sixth is embody your message. How are you walking, talking, and acting the part? Again, how are you showing up? How are you being in your body? What is it that you want people to see and to feel? So if you're empathetic, there's body language that allows people to understand that you're being empathetic. Again, your actions, your body language are all clues, because we're sending out volumes of information to the world about who we are before a word is ever spoken. And when you speak with clarity, when you are direct and you let people know what you want and what your expectation is, people show up differently for you and they respond differently.